are here, Ghost and Patty Rick.
What's up,
Live on
everybody?
Twitter. Ooh, it's been a minute, buddy.
Dude, I know. I've been running around like a chick with my head cut off. Just keeping moving forward. All sorts of chaos been running around. What have you been up to, man?
I like it. Just hitting summer. We've had some family in for the 4th. Obviously, we weren't doing the first Thursday last week.
Yep.
Um,
I appreciate
but,
that.
but yeah,
I
it's
was,
yeah.
Inebriated on a boat somewhere. It was a good time.
Well, I hope there's no documentation of that anywhere. Although, as entertaining as it would be, I think we may need to avoid that. Hey, what I want to do right now is we need to give a shout out to our members because we're going to do 2 giveaways, two $50 Revzilla
Whoa,
giveaways.
two off the rip.
Off the rip.
Okay, I'm gone for a couple weeks and everything goes to chaos.
So, Hobbit of Chaos. I think I saw him in the chat.
I saw him in chat.
Oh boy, we're gonna have a good time. And that we had one on the last stream that nobody claimed.
Oh.
So, because that's part of it, you gotta, So, here's what I'm gonna do. We got a few of us in here now. If you are a member and your name comes up and you are in the chat, we'll up it to 75.
Oh snap! I would say share it with your friends, but maybe don't. So you make sure that you get that $75.
All right. So I'm going to pull up my little spin the wheel thing here.
Spinning the wheel. What's up, Dragon? How are you?
Okay. Now, do we want to spin it just once off the rip, or do we want to do it 3 times?
Hold on. I've got some dice here. Let me just roll. I have a massive D20. It's absolutely huge. Let me.
That's how many clicks to spin. Yeah, just to show it's not rigged. So.
Oh God. Well, okay. 4.
4. Okay. There's 1. Okay.
There's number 2.
There's number 2. Here's number 3. And I have verified that names can come up twice in a row, so we're not like eliminating anybody.
Yep.
And this is it. Number 4.
Number 4, the final one.
This is the one that counts. What's up, Mystic? I see you out there.
What up, Mystic?
Chase Thomas.
Chase Thomas.
A.K.A. Donkey Dong Doug. You in the chat, buddy?
I don't see him.
Okay.
I don't see him in the chat.
If he makes an appearance during the live stream, it'll still count for the extra. But otherwise, D3, you got to DM me. So slide into my DMs.
Yeah.
Into my Dungeon Masters. Okay. We're going to do another one. Chase Thomas is excluded from the next one, so if he comes up, he doesn't win that.
Yep.
Do we spin it multiple times or just once now?
Well, I rolled a 1 on my massive D20, so I guess just the one time.
Just the one. That helps answer it. Survey says...
Hugged by death.
Hugged by death. You out there in the chat, my man? If you show up, hopefully you're watching from the beginning. Otherwise, you may miss something. But just message me when you do see this within the next week.
Yeah.
Hook you up, man.
Remember, jump on the Discord, jump on the our On To Crew Discord we've got, and ping them. See if we can get them in here.
Yeah. So, shifting gears, because that's what we do on motorcycles.
Go by them.
You talking about like what we've been up to. For those of you that have been kind of following me on the gram or the YouTubes, you may know that I am borrowing a certain motorcycle at this time. It is a very rare motorcycle.
It is a one of one, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, 1 of 1 or 1 of 2, depending upon how you classify it. But one of 1.5.
1 of 1/2.
1 of 1.5. Our logic is sound. So in my garage, I've got the famous J-Popio.
The old G-Pop.
Which, poor thing, I mean, Chase just never had a chance to ride it.
Yeah, I mean, when we were at the shop, we rode it all the time. But since moving out of that shop space,
mm-hmm.
like it's not an easy jump on and like run to the store thing.
Yeah, because he's in the burbs. That's where
Yeah,
you're.
we're kind of a couple miles from everything now. So if we're gonna go somewhere, we either take a car or jump on a bigger bike.
Well, and it's also just hard that it's hard for him to ride his MT10 just because of all the bikes that are in and out. So I reached out to Chase and I said, "Hey, G-Pop needs a little love," and I, thought I
May
could
or
give
may
it
not
that
have
little.
bribed him.
May or may not have bribed him. The thing was dead though too. It would not.
Dead
crank.
as a doornail. I
But
warned you to be fair.
You did, and I was cool with that. I thought, hey, as my rental payment for borrowing the bike, I'll get it a new battery, and then later on I did an oil change or whatever. But I took the battery over to his house, hooked it up, cranked right up.
Fired right up. Yep.
Like I was thinking it may kind of just give a little,
Nah.
But it fired right up, and
Good. Have you burned through a couple tanks of gas yet?
So, fun fact. Guess
who knows how old that gas is?
Oh, well, when I was taking it home, I think we had like half a tank, but I stopped and just topped up anyway to get some fresh in there.
There you go, smart man.
But guess how many miles were on the bike when I picked it up?
Oh God, like 200 maybe? No, not even. Like 60?
No, you're closer to the first one.
Okay, yeah, I don't know. I'll say 210.
It was like 194, 195.
Wow. Okay.
And
I'd be willing to bet at least half of those are at Road Atlanta.
Probably
because we just use it as a pit bike more than anything.
which is an awesome thing for it. But
yeah,
and I think like right now it has like 330 miles on it. So,
okay, so you've been busy on it. Okay, good.
And so one of this thing is, I thought it'd be great to just ride it around some and give it a little, TLC. Yeah. But also, you may know that we have a Ruckus.
Yes.
My wife rides the Ruckus sometimes. We'll go out to dinner, and there's one time, we were just out riding, and she was like, "Oh man, I need something with a little more power."
I mean, you found something with a little more power.
A little more, but the step up from the Ruckus is now you've got a
clutch and shifting gears, and yeah.
You've got all the things, and she now has her motorcycle permit.
Hey,
so stepping on up. So that's
I can neither confirm nor deny that I rode on a motorcycle permit for like a decade. Like a long time.
But you have to renew it every 6 months.
Yeah, but I just did it online.
Yeah, but you had to pay a fee each time, though, right?
It's like $5, $10.
Yeah, I think it's $10 is like the license.
Yeah, but like it was like I grew up riding. Like I've known how to ride like my whole life. So like I wasn't giving a shit about. I mean, this is do as I say, not as I do situation. But like I just didn't care enough to go get the full license. But yeah, no, I have it now, so it's fine. I have an international driver's license now, actually.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I went from like basically not having one to having arguably the best one you could get.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's neat.
So, anyway, yeah, so that's a fun little thing. And actually, a couple weeks ago, because she's learning to ride or whatever, and I'm like, okay, we can't stay on Papio forever, Papio.
I was like, 1, Papio, 2, debatable.
Yeah. So a couple weeks ago, I actually was like, well, and this was on my birthday. I was like, do you want to go sit on a few bikes, see what fits or whatever?
I mean, it's your birthday. I think she's required to go do that.
Yeah, that's right. I was like, I'll get her in there. So we went up to the one of 6 in the area, that's close by, just to ballpark.
Went to a dealership that was nearby. Yep.
So do you have any guesses or recommendations for her right off the bat? And I'll tell you what she kind of gravitated toward.
I mean, it depends on what dealer you went to for me to know.
Mall of Georgia.
Okay.
No exotics.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Knowing her and knowing you, and by knowing her, I mean I don't know her at all. So knowing you, probably something green.
It's in there. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, it wasn't, but it was.
Yeah. It's what, like I feel like she's not a ninja person.
Correct.
Probably Versus, maybe. No, is it a Cowie product? What is it? What's the brand at least?
Well, there was a couple. There
Okay.
was a couple brands, and then even a couple within that, but they're very close. That doesn't help you, does it?
No,
I'm
literally
being
not
vague
at all.
enough. Okay, I'll just tell you. So
Well, no, just
she
tell me
was
the
looking.
brand. I'll figure out what the bike is.
Well, Cowie and Honda.
Okay, so Cowie had Honda, but she's not a sporty bike girl. She's not a sport bike girly, I don't think.
Oh well, I need to. Dragon said Triumph Speed 400. She actually did one of those at that Ride With Us
Oh yeah,
event that
yeah,
they had at Cycle Gear, and she was like,
yeah,
"I like that Speed 400." So she did like it, but we didn't go sit on one of those.
yeah, yeah. That's a great little bike.
But
The new version they just came out with, the XC, is also super cool.
mhm.
Golly, so Honda or Cowie, um, maybe like SCL 500 or a Rebel 500, something in that ballpark. Um, oh
she
golly,
she said on the S is it SCL
SCL, yeah.
SCL 500, and at first it's kind of like okay, but then it was like meh.
Meh, yeah,
So
no. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Tell me, what
yeah.
is it?
So she, I think the one she liked the most, which I think is a little much, was the CB 650R.
Okay, I mean that's a fantastic bike with the e-clutch as well.
Yeah,
I mean, you can't not. The e-clutch is so good.
yeah. I don't know if that's maybe just a skosh too much bike. Um,
I don't know.
being a 4 cylinder, a little heavier. That would be my only thing. She liked the Z500.
Okay.
And I was almost thinking like, well, the Z650 is almost there and just a little bit more, but I don't know.
I would between those three, I'd probably go with the Honda.
Yeah, I think I would too. But she does want something with a windscreen, so eventually, when she's taking long trips, it's not just beating her up.
Yeah,
Um,
that's
I did throw the NX 500 at her, formerly known as the CB 500X,
yep.
but it's just a skosh tall for her
Yeah, 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 yeah.
at beginner level.
What Transalp?
What
Parallel
that's
twin.
well, that's probably about the same seat height, right?
No, the Transalp seat height is low.
Lower than the NX 500.
I believe so, yeah.
Somebody look that up. We may have to investigate that one. I was hoping they would have a Hornet up there too, because I thought, you know,
They're
if we're
cool.
going to have another bike in the garage, that I could also just,
I mean, yeah.
help use. Anyway,
Hey, I think the Transalp's a great choice.
it would be awesome. All right, well, we'll see where this journey goes.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it. So today, we talked about it maybe a couple months ago about like having a tournament of bikes or whatever, and I thought,
Yes.
let's just do it. Let's go Moto Madness, kind of like March Madness, where we have
Okay.
like all these bikes, and
We gotta have different like regions.
yeah. So what we'll do is we'll have different regions or categories. We're gonna have 16 categories with 4 bikes in each.
Okay.
And so there will be some categories where we'll be like, oh, obviously this bike and this bike.
Yeah.
And then we may be like, I don't know of 2 other bikes that go in there. We maybe have to pull something. Or we may be like, I can think of 10 bikes that go here. And we have to kind of go down to 4.
Narrow it down.
And then I figure after we select them, maybe we'll put something out for you all to vote on and, kind of see what happens there. But I thought it's just kind of a fun way just to talk about some different bikes. We can't spend too much time on them because we gotta pick a bunch.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I may or may not have pre-selected quite a few bikes.
Okay.
Definitely more than 2 for every category. So
all right. So let me show you what I've got here. Let me open up the screen here so everybody else can see.
ooh.
Yeah, I tried to be a little fancy. So this is a tournament style. And let's just I'll run down here the different categories. So I've got Big Adventure, which is 700cc plus.
Okay.
Naked bikes. electric, beginner bikes, because I figure that always gets a lot of attention.
Yep.
Scooters, we're not going to leave them out, although I don't think they'll make it out of their own bracket, but we'll see.
You probably not.
Small ADVs, because
Okay.
they're very popular. I figured with the popularity of ADVs, a lot of bikes can fit in there. So, sport touring. Then we have a first wild card. So if we have a bike that we're just like, it doesn't really fit anywhere else, or we used up all the slots, but we got to put it in there, we'll put it in this wild card. And then we have another wild card slot. Going up, mini motos. So that would be your Grom. I assume that's going to be in there. Cruisers, baggers,
Yep.
super sports, and then kind of your regular sport bikes.
Yep.
Dual sport or dirt, touring, and then cafe retro.
Okay, I like it.
And the way I kind of did this is that, like on the left side, I've got both big adventure bikes and small adventure bikes so that they won't meet in the finals.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Theoretically.
Theoretically. So I tried to do something like that, but I may shuffle it up a little bit more. But right now, it is all about selecting. So.
Okay, so we're just selecting. We're not running this bracket today. Okay, I don't know how much time you think we have.
No, we're not doing the whole thing. We may like run through a couple brackets next time, and then maybe by end of the year we'll be like, who is the Moto Madness champion or something.
Yeah. No, I like it.
But we still may have some debates on what four go in. So, what category would you like to start with?
I mean, we got to start top left. Easiest way to go. Big ADVs, man.
Big ADVs. Okay. Well, if you want to throw one out, we can kind of do like we did with our top 10 companies. If like we're just kind of on the same page, we'll just hammer them
out. Africa Twin. Africa Twin. Obviously, obvious choice. Obvious choice.
That was same.
Yeah. You want to? Yeah, I don't know what color you want to make these. Yeah, white probably works. And then probably like 12 point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're doing this on the fly, people.
So. Yeah. So Africa Twin, I think we both agree that's a fantastic bike. I got to spend a ton of time on it last year.
Can I lob one out there?
Yeah, go for it.
The BMW GS 1250.
1250, I'll agree with you. I'll agree with you on a 1250.
I was going to kind of do like 1250, 1300, because it's just the same, just generational. But we'll say.
Yeah, we just say BMW just GS.
Well, because I don't know. We'll say 1250 GS.
Yeah, fair enough. Next, I've got to say, and this is going to probably.
We're going to piss some people off, and that's okay.
I'm going to piss some people off. The Pan Am.
Okay.
The Harley-Davidson Pan Am, I think, is a fantastic machine. It's growing its aftermarket support aggressively. And I think that as this bike kind of grows and becomes a little more commonplace, it's only getting better.
That is a good machine.
You weren't expecting that, were you?
I wasn't. I was thinking that you were going to go with what I will lob out there. Oh, actually,
the Super T.
Hold on, I brain farted. No, I've categorized that wrong. Would the Super T be really adventure, or is that more sport touring?
It's about as adventure-y as a BMW GS is. I mean, it's spoked wheels, factory skid plates, it's shaft drive, it's got factory adventure style tires. But my thing is, I went through this list as if it was 2025 available bikes, in which there is not a Super T available in 2025.
Fair enough. Okay, chat, do y'all have any thoughts to round out big adventure? The one I was thinking of would actually go in the small.
So, okay.
But you probably know what that is.
Probably. Other big bikes.
The Tiger, Triumph Tiger
1200, yeah, or 900. Which one are you thinking? Because here's my thing. I think we ought to have a middleweight ADV class, because there's a lot of things that can fall into that middleweight class.
Well, we've already got 2 ADV categories, so.
Oh yeah, I know. I know. I mean, yeah, the Tiger, yeah, the 900 or the 1200, either one is a fantastic machine.
Let's go with the 900.
Okay.
Just because I want to. All right.
Fantastic. Okay. Next category
let's just move it on down.
Naked bikes.
Naked, soaking wet. Sorry.
Weirdo. I mean, let's. I don't want to keep starting with the winners here, but the MT10. I mean,
ooh,
Yamaha MT10. I could be convinced for an 09 SP, but an MT10 is just a fantastic bike.
So, I mean, we got to think about some things that may be like approachable, reasonable.
No, that's what the beginner bike class is for.
Right. I mean, yeah.
The MT10.
I'm not saying you're wrong with this. I'm just saying, like, let's not just say, oh, it's Multistrada and Goldwing all the way, you know. But
Multistrada didn't even make it into the big ADV class.
Huh.
You're like, well, damn.
So I'm going to throw out the Honda Hornet 750.
Honda Hornet 750, also
yes.
Fantastic machine. I could argue a Street Triple. I could argue a Triumph Street Triple. I could argue Gix8er or Gix8S.
Okay.
Gix8S, great bike.
So what are you arguing with yourself then?
Yeah, I don't know. I like the Street Triple a lot. I like Triumphs. I just don't fit on them because I'm just a big fella. So, to be fair, I don't really fit on the Gix8er or Gix8S either. But
well, that's true.
I have so much thunder, so if I disappear, my power has gone out.
Yeah, we had some of that last night. Let's go with the Suzuki.
Okay.
Gix S GS XS. No, G8S.
GSX 8S, yeah.
That's it.
The Gix8S.
Why can't they call it Hornet?
Yeah, because that would make sense.
I mean, do we just like...
owned us here.
Yay! You didn't win the gift card.
Sorry, buddy.
Not this time. I mean, I feel like we should almost round it out with like a Z900 or something.
I mean,
or a ZH2.
I just don't even think those are in like the top 10 of the naked class for me, though.
Oh, yeah?
Let alone like the top 4. I mean, like naked bikes I have a crazy good time on. MT10, the Hornet's great, the Gix8S is great.
But they're kind of basic, aren't they? Is that
20660?
Is that a naked bike? I thought that was a sport bike.
I mean, I think you could argue it's naked. What about? I mean, honestly, MT07. I mean, just I hate to put two Yamahas up there, but
I'm okay with that.
MT07 is just a great fucking bike.
It is. It's very peppy.
Yeah, it's not so peppy you're gonna get yourself in too much trouble, but it's a ton of fun. Listen, control on it's there. Relax.
Oh, he's on a 15-second delay. So.
Oh, true.
Oh,
electric bikes. This
electric
is where we're
bikes.
gonna struggle, I think.
This so Zero.
Oh, which one? There's quite a few.
What is the sport one? It's that
oh god, I don't know. Their ADV kind of style one is the DSRX. I like that bike a lot.
Yeah, I do like to look at that sport bike though. I think that's what it's called. If I'm wrong, y'all correct me.
Yep, I think honestly the Livewire Mulholland, the S2 Mulholland, super fun bike. That was cool. A lot of fun to have around the shop for a couple of months.
Livewire. How do you spell that?
MULHOLLAND.
Cool. You're a Mulholland. So.
What's the electric dirt bike? Oh shit! My friend Josh runs their PR campaign. Hold on.
The electric dirt bike.
Yeah, it's hold on.
Okay. I'm trying to even think like, yeah, we're struggling to put something in here. Let me just go ahead and what is the Energica went out of business though, didn't they?
Energica went out. There's Suron, but I feel like those aren't really motorcycles. Stark Varg. The Stark Varg MX.
Stark. I'll put it in here. I don't even know. MX?
Yep.
I don't even know what it is, but
it's an 80 horsepower, 6 hours of battery life dirt bike.
Okay.
Yeah, they offer a 60 or an 80 horsepower one, and they're insane. Up to 6 hours of riding time. They charge in 2 hours as well, so like you could ride all morning, like take like a 2 hour lunch, and then ride the rest of the day.
Wow, that's impressive.
Like they're really really cool. They're very impressive. It's like a motocross style bike, basically.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean they're super cool.
Is that Lightning motorcycle still a thing?
God, I don't know. Genuinely could not tell you.
Cool. Maybe we just have to come back to that one. I think it's fair to say that there will not be any electrics in our wild card.
That's very, very true.
Hey,
Chase Thomas.
Chase Thomas. Did you see the first part of the show, buddy? Did you?
Did. Oh, the electric Can-Ams. That's right. Can-Am Origin.
Yes. We'll just put it on here just because.
Yeah.
You could tell these were all at the top of my mind. But
yeah, for sure.
Hey, even in March Madness, the small conferences get an automatic bid, so that's what this is for. So.
Yep.
All right, beginner bikes. So this is, of course, a lot of subjectivity here, but
yeah, I mean, it's very true. I want to stay away from like Grom's Z125, stuff like that. One, I don't think they're actually like we have their own category for them, so I don't want to play with those too much.
I'm going to say Ninja 500.
Yeah, great. Cool.
I figure that's
reasonable. I'm gonna well that kind of crosses over another category as well. I'm gonna say the Triumph Speed 400.
That's a good one. Like I said, my wife liked riding that one.
Yep. Honestly, like the Royal Enfield, like the Hemis are great, but I almost think that's more of a dual sporty bike.
If only they had one coming to the U.S. later this year.
No, there's the Meteor 350. There's the Classic 350.
Yeah, I think it's the Meteor 350. That was on like that beginner bike challenge that like Revzilla did a couple years ago.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I think that's a great bike.
Yeah.
I'm a really big fan generally of Royal Enfield. I think they make a really good.
They have come along quite a bit in the past few years.
Yeah, 100%. Another great beginner bike. I mean, you kind of have to put the Honda Rebel out there. I mean, it is the beginner cruiser.
Yeah, I'll go with that one.
What were you thinking?
I think I don't like Rebels, but
I mean, I generally don't like Rebels either. But I think it's I mean, you could argue MTO3.
Yeah.
R3.
Well, this way we kind of well, I mean, the Royal Enfield's kind of a
classic.
Well, but you know what? We will reserve the right to come back to these later, depending upon how our wild cards go.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Agreed.
But all right. Oh, let's have some fun here. Scooters. Ruckus.
Ruckus. Honda ADV 150. The Yamaha Zuma?
The Zuma.
The Zuma's fantastic. I love that thing. The big Ruckus. They don't make them anymore, but they're so cool. I found one on Facebook for like $2,500 the other day, and I was like, ooh.
It might have been the same one I saw. I was about to say I just saw.
Yeah, the ADV 150 or 160 or 250. I don't know what they call them these days. You make a good point, Control It owned, but I think that better fits in the sport bike class a little later on. The CF Moto 450 SS, great bike. A Vespa 300. Listen,
I mean, Vespa's kind of a classic.
Yeah, I would argue. What about?
You didn't say what you'd argue. It's like I'd just argue.
I'd argue with that. Bergman 400, obviously. I mean, the Suzuki Bergman, the scooter that everybody that owns a DRZ hates the fact that Bergman will outrun a DRZ 8 days a week. As someone who used to own a DRZ and got consistently slapped by a buddy of mine who had a Bergman 400, it was annoying, but they get so bad, it's hilarious.
Nice. That's a pretty good spread. All right, small ADV.
ADV, okay.
This is where I was thinking the Tenere 700.
T7 for sure. I think we ought to have a mid-size ADV class, but that's a whole other conversation. But sub 700, I mean the T7. I think you could argue.
You're arguing a lot tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying you could debate it for later because we're gonna have to debate these later. That Royal Enfield Himalayan. I love that little bike. I still you could argue that's a dual sport. I don't know. Dual sports for me are like barely street legal dirt bikes.
Well, there's so many bikes now that kind of blend the categories. So I mean.
I don't know. The Touareg 660.
I'll
the
go with
Cove.
that.
I mean, feel free to stop me, argue with me, because there's so many.
Well, the ones that I do agree with you, I'm just like typing in, and if I kind of hesitate, I'm like, what else you got?
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, like the 790 Adventure from KTM. Well, I guess that's a 790 though. And the 690 Adventure is a piece of garbage. I hate those bikes. People can flame me all they want. I hate those bikes. I still think that Cove is a great.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Have you ridden one?
I've not had the chance, but I have many friends that have them and ride them. But I don't know if that qualifies more dual sport though. I feel like the Cove is more of a dual sport.
Okay, Cove. Okay.
The T7, Touareg 660, I mean KLR 650, the OG.
Oh, golly, yes.
The OG ADV bike. I mean, like literally the KLR 650 invented the adventure bike.
That's true.
You know.
And they're bulletproof.
Yeah, they fucking are. The Honda fanboys would be like, why not an XR 650? Because that's a dual sport. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. V-Strom 650 from the Dragon. That's a great option.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have a problem with the V-Strom being called an adventure bike.
Yeah, well, I mean that's the same reason why I wouldn't put a Versus up here. Versus 650. It's a road bike. It's a
sport touring bike.
Yeah.
It's a road bike that like can do, but like if it comes factory with cast wheels, that's not an adventure bike for me.
Would you throw the Ibex 450 up here?
Oh yeah! Oh my God! Yeah. Why did I not think of that already? Yeah. I may or may not be actively trying to get one.
Okay.
Yeah, no, the IMAX 450, absolutely. Jesus, brain, come on.
Does Jay still have that in the garage?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Hopefully it's coming to my garage.
Okay.
We'll see.
That's awesome. Sport touring.
So sport touring, I mean, honestly,
Whoops.
like the V-Strom, whatever their new 1100 DE is a great option for sport touring bikes.
I'm gonna hesitate on that one for a minute.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Tracer 9 GT Plus from Yamaha.
I'm gonna have to I know people will hate me for this one, but I'm going to. Honda NT 1100.
Oh
ECT.
yes, absolutely, 100%. The GSX S1000 GT.
I like that one.
Yep, I like the Suzuki actually.
That's the one I have to think about how to spell it. Suzuki.
Yeah. The GSX S1000 GT Plus.
GT Plus. The GX is kind of nice too, but it's not as comfortable.
Agreed.
It's their version of the Versus, but.
And then also like the Versus 1000.
Yeah, I feel like I have to do that one.
Yeah.
Because I'm in control. Well, I'll say what it is now. It's the 1100 because they just upped it this past year.
Oh, did they? Okay.
Yeah, great bike. The only thing I would change on it is the seat.
Small bore. The Ruckus did make it.
Yes. Yeah, that was for you. I had to make sure that was there. Okay, we're going to go to.
We're going to skip wild card for now.
Should we skip wild card?
Yeah, I think we come back to the wild cards at the end. So cafe and retro.
Sorry.
You're good.
Cafe and retro. So let's do this category and then we'll take a little intermission because we'll be halfway done with the categories.
Perfect.
But let me just get my formatting here. So cafe retro, this could be exactly what it is. Classic bikes. Just anything that, again, these are kind of subjective categories. Any bike's a sport bike if you
try hard enough.
Or any bikes are. So how about the Z900 RS?
I will 100% agree with that. I will also say the Triumph Speed Twin RS.
Yep, Dragon confirmed our choice.
Yep.
Triumph Speed Twin RS.
Okay. You have to go. I mean, if we're going the cafe like retro styling, the Yamaha XSR 900.
And
then what's the final one? I feel like Royal Enfield's almost a cop out here because it's like
right.
They're all styled like that. Not all of them, but a lot of them.
Should we put one of them on the board? They've not made it onto the board yet.
Yeah, they have.
Have they?
I think they did.
If not,
the Royal Enfield Super Meteor 650. Fantastic bike.
Super Meteor. That's the cruiser style, right?
It's kind of the retro cruisery. It's very upright.
I like their new Bear 650.
I haven't seen the Bear.
I did a test ride on that.
I did the press launch for the Super Meteor 650. In the US, and then I did a launch in the UK with them last year. What was that bike? Maybe that was the classic 650? I'm gonna go look.
Well, if we can't think of it, does it belong here?
Well, no, it 100% belongs here because the whole thing.
Okay.
It's themed after like the 1920s, 30s, and 40s when that bike like came to be.
Okay.
Originally. So I'm searching the channel right now. Let me go look. Sorry.
No, that's fine.
But I think it's the classic 650 is what it's called. Really, you could put almost any Harley Davidson also in this category because their technology is. No, I'm kidding.
I was like, where is he going with this? But then, okay, that's funny.
That's the Speed Twin video.
I put the classic 650. Well,
no, I'm just trying to remember if that's in fact what it was.
Mm.
It was the classic 650. Yeah, I really like that bike.
Awesome. Well, okay, we have done 8 of the brackets, saving the wild cards. So we're going to take just stretch our legs and our minds for a minute, and we'll just have a little life advice of the tip of the week. Play. There it goes.
It's my favorite time of the week.
Finally
time for the Ghost Tip of the Week. Yay! That was great. Ghost Tip of the Week is sponsored by Ghost on Two Wheels over on Instagram, of course. Speaking of tips,
tip of the week: don't get a degree in history. There's no future in it.
That's amazing.
You like it.
That's
you
amazing.
Like it.
I do like that.
There are some degrees where you're just like, really?
Really?
But I guess you have to get a degree in history if you're going to be like a football coach, right? Isn't that what they usually?
Oh, no, it's usually economics.
Oh.
Yeah, my high school football coaches were all economics teachers.
Yeah, it was either, for us, it was like either history or PE.
Yeah. No, also true. PE.
PE.
No, the baseball coaches were PE.
Oh.
Yeah. But no, my bad dad joke for you.
Lay it on me.
Did you know that soy sauce is actually Spanish? It translates to I am sauce.
That very good.
Don't worry, I hate me too. Back to the bracket.
Do you know what you call a moot?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Control Alt Own member for 27 months. Thank you, my man.
Go.
I used to work for a soft drink can crusher. It was so depressing.
Ugh.
My man.
Solid. Were you about to ask if I knew what a moot point was? It's just like a cow's opinion.
No. Do you know what you call a moose that doesn't have a name? Anonymous.
Oh my god.
See, that's one of those that's so dumb that it just like you'll think about it tomorrow while you're in a meeting and you just start laughing and they're like, Patrick, what are you okay? Is there something you want to share? Well,
they're like, yeah, I'm gonna share a really bad dad joke with you. Sorry.
All right, back to the bracket. Now that everyone has been enlightened about what not to get.
So touring, this is kind of an interesting class because there's the difference between, for me, touring and cruiser are two very different bikes. Touring and sport touring could arguably be very different as well.
We do have a cruiser category.
We do have a cruiser category.
I'm going to go ahead and just put it here because we know.
Yeah, no, 100%. That was where we were all going there. Let's all be very real.
Yeah.
FJR 1300.
Did they discontinue that one?
Yeah, they did actually. I forgot about that.
Are they going to come back with like the 1400 or something?
I don't think so. I don't think they could get it like the Super T. They couldn't get it past Euro 5.
Chase Thomas says the K1600.
K1600, great choice.
That is a good one.
Yeah. That is a fantastic choice. The K series from BMW, always good. Oh man.
Yeah, I mean, now if you do have like a big cruiser bike that is for touring,
my thing is like a road glide.
Yeah.
Road glide, you know, that for me, that's a cruiser, but it has everything you need to go across the country. Big windshield, big fairing, your heated seats, heated grips, like it's got the stereo, super comfortable. I think road glide is probably, for me, would be a touring bike.
Okay. I'm good with that.
Okay.
I mean bikes can fit in multiple categories, so.
Yeah, it's true.
So that would be the Road Glide, you said?
Road Glide, yeah.
Road Glide. Astro Glide, right?
Hey. God, what else? Well, I don't know if that's a cruiser per se, or if that's a touring bike. You could argue that the new Tiger like 660 is more of a touring bike than a sport tourer. Certainly not an adventure bike.
Well, yeah, the Tiger Sport.
Yeah,
well,
the
they
Tiger
have the
Sport
800 now, right?
Yeah, I did maybe the 800 over the 660, but um,
yeah, I mean there's a lot of things that are cruiser bikes that are touring bikes, and sport touring bikes that are really good touring bikes, and
yeah,
I mean you throw saddlebags on a sport bike and you can tour on it. So, chat, you got anything else?
I mean, there's. Yeah, the Tiger 1200 GT. That's a great choice. That's cast wheels.
Yeah, the Tiger GT line, both the 900 and 1200 are.
Yeah, let's do the Tiger 1200 GT.
Wasn't it the Explorer version of that had like a 7-gallon tank or something ridiculous?
Yeah, that's the one that I wanted. I feel like Multistrada is more sport touring, which we've already passed that category.
That may be a wild card slot.
That may be a wild card slot. Dual
All right.
sports. Here we
go.
Dual
sport or dirt. This is where my ignorance will show because I'm not in that.
Yeah,
space.
For me, I mean it's the Hibby 452. I think is what it's called. The new DRZS, absolutely, or DR4S or DRZ4S, whatever it's called. I think that's what it's called.
Okay, that's like the only one I know is Suzuki D.
The new Hemi, the Royal Enfield Himalayan.
It's a spunky little machine. I
love that little bike. Honestly, had such a blast with it out in Utah last year.
Himalayan.
Absolutely, just beat the dog shit out of it. I think this is where that Cove comes in.
Okay.
I think it's more dual sport than ADV.
Do they call it like a 500 rally or?
I think it's a 450. There's the Cove 800X Pro, but I don't know if an 800 is really a dual sport anymore. The KLR 650 we did in the ADV class.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we could honestly the new KTM 390R, I think is what they're calling it. Is it the 390R? Let me.
I don't know. Would you throw a Honda dual sport in here? Well, I don't know. Are there CRFs any?
I mean, like the CRF 300 Rally is great. My issue with it is it's like the suspension is terrible. They've made it better on the newer one, sure, but like you just can't really. Actually, Chase makes a really good point. The KTM 500 EXCF, arguably a bike that I think is one of the dumbest things in the world. It's at what $14,000 street legal dirt bike, but it is absolutely a street legal dirt bike. I mean, my buddy, friend of the channel, Jeff over at MMS Roswell has one and loves that thing. That's almost too aggressive. It's the 390 Enduro R, I think, is the new one. I do like the CRF 450 RL. My issue with it is the maintenance intervals are really shit on it. Very similar to that of the KTM. The CRF 300L and the 300L Rally, again, great bikes, but they don't make nearly enough power. The suspension's too soft. They have great service intervals. They'll go forever.
Mm-hmm. Honda.
Yeah, maybe we do the CRF 300 Rally.
Excuse me. All right, our dual sport dirt Suzuki DRZ, Royal Enfield Himalayan, Cove, and the CRF 300.
Yeah.
Sport bike, not a super sport.
Just a sport bike. Yep.
Although we can do these two together just so that we make sure we don't
just do them at the same time.
Okay. Get a little template texted down here.
I got my whole list up here. Sport bike, R7. I mean, I feel like that's just duh.
Would the R9 not take its spot here, or?
I would almost do the R9 in the super sport category.
Oh.
I think it's at the bottom end of that category, but I still think it's there.
I think we have to, because we mentioned it earlier, the 450 SS.
450 SS, absolutely. Yeah, the Aprilia RS660.
Yeah, I like that.
The CBR 650R, also a great choice.
What'd you say, the Aprilia what?
RS660.
RS660. Esponzion.
And then, yeah, either the CBR 650 or even... I mean, you could argue like the Ninja 650.
I see a lot more Ninja 650s out there.
Yeah.
I feel like that popularity factor may come into play here. Super sport.
I mean, you can't have a super sport category without the 675 SS from CF Moto Mystic. That's a really good point. Maybe that is the better choice than the 450. I think that's going to compete with the rest of that category better.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay. Super sport, I mean, you got to go V4. I mean, the Ducati V4 is the king of the super sports. The new CBR 1000 is badass. You're talking RSV4 Factory. I mean, Gixxer 1000 is a great choice.
Would you put the Busa in here?
No. Busa deserves it to be in a dumpster.
Fair enough. I had to ask. But yeah, the Gixxer 1000. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the GSXR 1000R. I mean, fantastic bike.
Didn't these two compete also on Revzilla? And Dave the Gixxer won, didn't he?
No, I don't know.
I think that's what happened.
RSV4 Factory. I mean, that thing is just a monster. And then I feel like again, that the new CBR 1000 for me is just super cool bike. They've done a really good job with that redesign, and it's extremely competitive in Moto America.
I like that.
The Beamer boys are going to be mad that we left out the S1000 RR, but nobody can afford one. So
yeah, or MV Agusta. Sorry, Matt. So I think if this is right, CBR right? Is that what it is now?
The CBR 1000 RRSP, I think is what it's called, or something like that.
Okay, we'll try to get it accurate. Something like that.
I mean, we all know what it is. The CBR. What up, Matt?
Here's two fun categories.
Cruisers and mini moto.
Mini motos. All right, so here's where you can throw in your cruisers. So
I mean, I love, honest to God, the Indian Sport Chief. I think is a fantastic little bike.
Okay.
I did go to the press launch for that. Had an absolute blast with it. Got to ride a buddies not long after that as well, and still really enjoyed it. Yeah, Rocket 3. I mean, shit.
Why
Rocket 3, yeah.
Yeah, they won their conference.
You kind of have to.
Rocket 3 is just ridiculous.
Yeah, they're so dumb. I love it.
Is that even a cruiser, or is it a?
I mean, it's a rocket couch, I think is what it is.
So would any of the other Harleys fall into this category that is iconic or popular outside of the Road Glide?
I think you could argue Road Glide or Street Glide. Goldwing was in the touring category, Matt. The new Super Cruiser, the new Buell Super Cruiser. I don't know. That's not technically out yet. They're really, really hard to get. I don't know. I'm excited to see it. We're supposed to be getting one to test, but
nice.
I don't know what the story is with it as of right now. Sport Chief Rocket 3. I still like. I don't think between a Road Glide and a Street Glide, I'm buying a Road Glide every time. I just prefer the fixed front fairing. But we did put that in the touring category already, so I don't want to use that again.
Well, we can't.
Also, the Lowrider ST is dope, which would compete with the Sport Chief.
Okay.
Which is the HD Lowrider ST, super cool bike. We did a first ride on a standard Lowrider S earlier this year.
Okay. I am not in the cruiser space, so I think we already used the Rebel, so that was in over there at the beginner, I think. But what? Let's see.
Rebel 250 balls. I'm
trying to think of any like cruiser like from the other big brands, because typically I do think of like Harley, Indian as the cruisers, but
but there's the Vulcan, which is fine. There's the Boulevard, which is also I don't know if that's a cruiser per se. I was gonna say the VMAX, but that's more of like an upright. I'd probably put M109 Boulevard, if we could put that on there, I guess, from Suzuki. The bike that hasn't changed in 40 years.
Very Suzuki-ish.
No, very Suzuki. Makes sense.
What'd you say? It's the M01?
M109.
M109.
Boulevard.
Spelling bee champion. Look at that.
Hey, mini motos. Papio, Grob, Z125, and the Dax 125.
All right. This is going to be... I contend that Chase needs to source a Grom and a Z125, and then you got G-Pop, and we do a mini moto shootout. I'm just saying, people would love that.
Oh, the Van 200. Holy shit, Matt. That's a throwback, isn't it? Honestly, I would do... I love that Trail 125, and I love the Dax 125, so if you want either of those...
I'm going to eliminate the Dax. That's...
Really?
I'll do the Trail 125. There's something about that I'm just like, that looks fun. That would be fun to have.
Yeah. Well, so the Dax is the exact same thing, just different bodywork.
Yeah, and I don't like it.
Yeah, fair enough.
I just...
TW 200, Van 200, both good choices. Arguably dual sports, though. I mean, the Monkey, yeah. But that's basically a Grom.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to do the Papio. I think the Papio SS. Yeah, I think you just got to do...
Yeah.
Dax's Bay. I like the Dax. I like the Dax a lot. I think it's cool.
We sat on one while we were out there scouting, and I was like, oh, it's the new Wiener Dog bike. And I sat on it, and it was just like, oh, this is not comfortable at all.
Well, no, it's a Wiener Dog bike. It's not meant to be comfortable.
Yeah, it's terrible. So, all right, we are down to our wild cards. So this, just for those watching or listening after the fact, the wild card is 2 categories with 4 each, so we got 8 spots where if we had a bike that just didn't make the cut, but we can't not put it in, this is where they will go. So this can be anything. This is where, like, if there's an iconic bike maybe that we didn't say, where I will throw out there, should we put the Multistrada in there?
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
I mean, it didn't.
Yeah, I think the Multi needs a spot. I don't think it's going to stay very long, but I think it needs a spot.
Yeah.
I mean, R1M is another one of those bikes that's just incredible and
Are we doing Multistrada V4?
Yeah, Multistrada V4. Yeah.
And you said the R1M.
Yeah, Yamaha R1M.
Yeah, that's a kind of an iconic bike, you know, and
yeah.
So what were some others that maybe we were talking about and didn't quite make the cut, but either they're just good solid bikes or they're famous for something.
I mean the
Trail 70.
The Trail 70. Well, it's got to be new bikes you could buy new in this year 2025.
Excuse me.
God, I don't know.
The VMAX.
VMAX, Jesus. We do have Pan Am on there already.
We do have Pan Am.
We've got the Africa Twin.
We've got the Hornet.
We do have the Hornet.
Is there another adventure bike that you think is just really good, but it just didn't quite settle in somewhere?
I mean,
Rocket
the 1290 Super Adventure is just a maniac machine.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, that thing is just psychotic.
I mean, I could see that, you know, making the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, you're making a good point. The 790 is famous not in a good way. I mean, the 890 Adventure is a pretty decent bike. Oh, the R1800 for the cruiser. Yeah, no, we should. Yeah, fuck, yeet the Boulevard. That thing's a piece of shit. Put the BMW R1800 as a cruiser. Yeah, that's a great pick. Good job, Matt.
So, okay, BMW.
I think it's called the R18.
R18?
Yeah. I mean, the R9T is also just a super cool bike from BMW. Very classic. Really fun bike to ride. What about naked bikes that didn't make it?
So what's a good
I mean, we can't also put the MT-09 on here, can we?
Well, we'd have the MT-10 and the MT-07, but I mean, no, we could. We'll just put them on the same side of the bracket so that they don't, like, at the end it's MT-07 versus MT-09.
It's not like a Harley or a Yamaha contest.
Yeah. I mean, those are good bikes. They're just, you know, good value.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what else we can get.
What about like a CB1100 or CB1000?
The CB1000R?
Yeah. I like that bike a lot.
As opposed to the new CB1000 Hornet?
I haven't had any time on the Hornet yet.
Okay. So this was still going with the retro there. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Whoops. A
Um,
few more slots. What do we got, folks? Daytona 660.
Daytona 660 is not a bad idea.
Yeah, we'll put it in for right now, and then we can. It's still kind of new. I don't know how popular it is.
Ural, small bore Ural with the sidecar.
What are those models even called? It's just a Ural. That's all I know it as. Is it even?
Beats me, man. I just work here.
Screw it. I'm putting Ural in for one of the slots.
Yeah, do it. Ural with sidecar. Because you can buy them without the sidecar. Which would make you wrong, just to be very clear. I don't think we need an H2. I don't think anybody needs an H2.
I feel like the Ural may not last long, but it made the tournament.
No, I think the Ural's gonna get whipped pretty quick, but you know.
Yeah, and H2 on here. That's one of those things where Kawasaki's just doing stuff just because they can. We're going to supercharge a bike. We're going to build a hydrogen bike. Cool.
Yeah. Fuck it. Why not? Yo, what about the hybrid? The Cowie 7 hybrid, whatever it's called.
I would enjoy testing that out someday.
Yeah, there's a first ride on it.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. I was I know it's not been well received necessarily, but I feel like
it's cool.
I think it's pretty cool. I'll put it on here because it is a wild card. So, no, actually, it's called.
What would be stupid is an H2 V-Strom. You're right, but I would ride an H2 V-Strom. That would be insane. It would probably kill me, and I would love every fucking second of it.
Let's see. Last one, Mr. Irrelevant here. Who makes it in last?
Right. Probably the bike that's going to win it all, let's be honest.
That's right.
What about...
I mean, in fairness, we're picking 64 bikes right now.
Yeah, like there's a lot.
There's a lot
of bikes with no overlap.
The Navi.
I fucking loved the Navi. That was such a fun bike at Barber. We were like full tuck blasting around on that thing. It was hilarious.
Triumph Scrambler 1200.
Also a great bike. A great bike. We have the CBR 1000 on here, yeah?
Yeah, that's in the Super Sports.
I got Transalp.
Yeah.
The Moto Guzzi Stelvio.
Oh, Moto Guzzi coming in. I like that because they haven't been on here yet. So.
Yeah, we'll give them a bid. I know exactly how durable those bikes are.
Oh. It rocks.
It does rock. Barber small bore rip. That's right. R.I.P. Barber small bore indeed.
So we have picked 64 bikes in about an hour. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So if the bike that you wanted did not make it on here, you can do your own Moto Madness NIT tournament. So
yeah, leave a comment. Hit us up on Discord, whatever. Let us know.
So I think what I want to do with this, we are not going to be selecting these now, and maybe not next time, but I want to like put out links or something for you all to like vote on it, so that it's not just us all the time just saying this wins. But I may try to put it out there rather soon, so it just has time to accumulate some votes, and then we will just maybe reveal half of it or something. I don't know what we'll do, but
I'm looking at the list, and I'm like already picking what I would probably win for every category.
Right? Yeah. I mean, we all have our favorites, and it may be tough because you may have to look at it and be like, okay, clearly a Africa Twin is going to be better than a Grom.
Yeah.
But you may like the Grom better, and so somebody may vote for that. So, we may have to American Idol this thing. So
yeah. Well, we can always do what everybody does on Instagram, where you do the votes, like the Instagram tournaments on stories.
Yeah, we may just do something like that and tally the votes and see what happens. So, well, Pat, man, we ran through it. We got a lot of bikes out here, and it's kind of also just a cool way to just also throw bikes out there that maybe you're not always thinking of. I know we struggled sometimes, and it was like, oh, yeah, that bike. Because, honestly, it's a great thing that there's so many good bikes out there that we have to struggle to remember them all. I think even we're just in a good time that there's good options for everybody, and I don't know, different flavors. So, but yeah, that's what we got. So we'll just see what we do with the tournament later on. So
yeah, I'm excited to see how that plays out, and to be back next month for another episode.
So, anybody in the chat got any last minute dad jokes?
Yeah, last minute bad dad jokes before I got to go pick up the dogs from daycare.
That's important.
It is.
That's important. We got to wait 15 seconds. That's the lag. So
yeah.
So, but what you got going on in the next month or so? Anything exciting?
We I can't talk about that. We've got some cool things coming up, both on the channel, and personally. I started another day job, so I am now working like 4 jobs right now. It's great. Really enjoying that.
Are you?
I mean, I am. It's fun.
Do you like to stay busy?
I do. I like to stay busy. If I'm not busy,
yeah.
I get bored.
No, then that's good then. So,
Yeah,
I mean, if you could put your time to good use and get a little paycheck, why not?
Yeah. Agreed. We filmed some really cool first rides the last couple of weeks. We've got some really great ones coming up. We might be getting a 3rd dog soon. We'll see. We do love the pups around here, so
trio perro.
Yes, 3 perros. Yeah, all sorts of shenanigans. So,
well, I don't think I can say specifically, but for the inside crowd here, next month I get to go do a thing.
Oh, that might be the thing that I am talking about.
The thing
with a company that I like in a place that I've been to before.
I'm still going to be in the States.
Yes, domestic. Minnesota?
Close.
Pretty sure. If it's what I think you're doing.
Cheese.
Is it Wisconsin?
Yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure it's Minnesota.
Gosh, now I gotta.
Oh no! You're right.
Of course I am.
You're right.
Of course I am.
I thought it was Milwaukee, or no, I thought it was Minnesota, not Milwaukee. Yeah.
So yeah, that's the thing, and then otherwise it's just.
Yeah, I was supposed to do that, but I've got a bunch of family coming into town that week, so I'm glad you get to go on another press launch. It'll be fun.
Well, yeah, I gotta get better at it.
And I think it's a bike that I've ridden before.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. I think you're really gonna like that bike. Like you and I are too tall for it, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I liked that power plant in another one that I.
Yeah, agreed.
I love being so vague to all.
Yeah, I know, right? It's fun, isn't
it? Coding each other.
There is it has made me really despise a Kendrick Lamar song that is very, very good. Because at that particular event, they played the same 10-second clip for 3 days straight, as loud as they could everywhere we went. They not like us. They not like us.
Oh, I hate
They
that
not like
song.
us. They
I
not
hate
like
that
us.
song.
They not like us. They not like us. They not like us. They not like us.
So, fun
Beat
fact.
Drop. They not like us. They not like for 4 days.
Yeah, So my alma mater's football team used that as part of like their entrance video last year.
Oh, boo.
And I heard that song, and that was the first time I'd heard that song. Because and I heard it, I was like, this is lame. And then I heard it at the Super Bowl, and I was like, still lame. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean it's you know,
it's personal preference. So
it's personal preference.
But it's
they made a big deal that it was a very original bike for them, the bike that they're talking about. It is a very original bike for them. It's very, very cool. I think for me, it's the bike that's transitioning them into the modern era. Yep. So it's really exciting for that brand.
Dropping hints, man.
I think you're really going to like it.
Yeah.
Control and owned, I would go IMX 450. Again, I am actively trying to get one. I'm actively trying to get the one that Chase has, actually. It's the one with all the parts already on it.
If you can you get a package deal? Maybe buy one, buy two, get one.
Well, I'm not trying to buy it.
All right. You go get your dogs. I'm going to go try to get rid of this cough. Pat, appreciate you taking some time today. Guys, thank you all for hanging out in the chat, throwing some bikes at us, and just love talking bikes, and we'll see y'all next time.
Yeah, we'll see you guys later.
Y'all take care.